Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are out there.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
There we go. How's it going there, chat room? My name is Jeff Fritz. Today is February 16th, 2020, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. I've got my Philadelphia Fusion swag going here today. Look at this. Thank you so much to my good friend Dear Written out there for helping me with the jersey here. Very nice of him. Stelzy!
Steelty79 just resubscribed for 16 months.
Thank you so much for that. Twitch Prime, 16 months together. Thank you for all that support, and we're going to make donations to code.org. Thank you very much. Yeah, my Philadelphia Fusion in the Overwatch League, they had their first match yesterday, playing those always difficult Washington Justice, those always tough Washington Justice. 3-1 win, and it was a home game. They played here in Philadelphia yesterday. Really cool to see. Later today, Philadelphia versus Florida. Really looking forward to that match, and that's over on the YouTubes. You can catch the Overwatch League later today. I'm looking forward to seeing how our boys in orange do against the folks from South Florida. How's it going, chat room? Let me say hello. Brave Cobra's here. Kabazi, hello. Legendary Moo. You like the opaque panel of me getting ready? Yeah, I'm changing up the camera here. I noticed while I was editing, I went through and I published 8 videos today out to the YouTube channel. I'm now caught up to January. I finished pushing all the December video out. I'm into January videos now. But I noticed that all of my videos starts to slowly separate, and the audio, it has a gap between my voice and the camera. So by the end of the video, there ends up being like a second delay between them, and it's I'm not a fan of that, and I think it's how I have the camera hooked up and how I'm delivering. So I switched it up, so now this camera is connected, the side camera that we'll see in a minute, is connected directly into my PC instead of going through a second machine. But I think I'm going to need to do a little re-engineering here because I want to have all the video capture on the second machine so that I can have Visual Studio on this machine here in front of me, but have all the video capture, all the video management over on the second machine. We'll figure this out. It'll take a little bit. So you heard me a little bit as I was coming in because I wasn't expecting it, but for some reason OBS decided, oh, there's an audio feed here. We're going to publish that. Shy Sharp, good to see you. Copper Beardy is here. No costume today, my friend. We only do that on the rare once in 2 years occasions, okay? You don't see the other live coders doing this, huh? Tune in. Well, no. Fierce Kittens does wear costumes regularly. You don't tune in and see Robert Tables wearing costumes. Well, maybe you do. So, no costumes. And, oh gosh, look, the bot didn't even get started right. Look at this. I'm a mess here this morning. It must be Sunday. Oh my gosh. Let's get the bot running so we can have all the things, all the fun. Yes, the attention stuff isn't running. The bot things, let me get this started up here. Turn and do the thing, and that's over here, and this. Let's see. It is, there's some squirrels, thank you. The marquee across the top, and let's get the sentiment analysis. This normally all starts right at the same time, but no. I didn't do it correctly this time. Yep, those all work. And not this one. That'll be okay. Channel points, make sure that loads properly. I need to fix that too. And the intention so we can get the sound effects. All right. Now we should be going. Right.
Oh my.
There it is. Alrighty, fantastic. So, Yes, no costumes today. Looking down here. See, there's the squirrel. There's only so much awesome my computer can take, and then it has to take longer to process. You're right, legendary move. You're right. Need more coffee? Absolutely. Absolutely needs more coffee. Lots of problems with the bot starting lately. No, it's just I actually have it wired up to a Stream Deck button so that when I start everything, it launches automatically just before OBS. But I was tuning things in OBS and didn't start the bot at the same time. So, yes, I drink Madrina's coffee. Use code FRITZ at madrinascoffee.com. You'll get 40% off, and there's a cool alert that appears here when you use my coupon and I'm live on stream. I haven't seen it yet because nobody's used it while we've been streaming. So, today I've got more vanilla cappuccino here from Madrina's. Really enjoying that. I had a cup of regular. They're black. They're dark blend that I had earlier. I forget what it's called, but yeah. On the hot coffee now, on the cold coffee, we're all caffeinated here. We're ready to go. So I want to talk today about some things with Blazor. Yes. Do you know if there are any plans to support XAML on Blazor? No. There you go. There's your answer. What you're going to find, I'll put that message up. There it is. There are folks at the Uno project that are working on this type of thing so that you can use XAML directly in the browser. But here, XAML was built to be HTML-like. So you're using a technology to imitate a technology with a shim that's going and rendering. So why not just use it directly? Why not just use the web technology directly? That's kind of my opinion on XAML with this. But the folks at Uno do have a renderer that will do that. Copper Beardy, he's another member of the Life Coders. He's spot on here. Blazor 4 mobile will be fun. So what this is you can use XAML, but it'll render with Blazor rendering then mobile applications. There's a step that you can work on and see a little bit more of. Maybe somebody over to can we do a stream someday with an event bus? I would need to be building a bigger, much more complex application, and that's not easy to show on a stream like this. Yeah, thank you, Smab, for sharing that link. Yep, experimental mobile Blazor. So I can definitely get into some more advanced stuff like that, but it's going to take a little bit to get to. So what I do want to show you, though, is I was experimenting with the idea of the DataBinder in Web Forms. And the DataBinder is... it's clumsy. It's one of those things in Web Forms that people really don't like. Because it's wrapping something that should be just simple to use. So I want to talk to you about a spike that I took a look at and I researched yesterday. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. And I want to, how do you pronounce that? Is that just Psyox? Well, I'm not, I love the Fox at the end of that hex there. Did you just go by Psy? Let me know. Or is it Psy 255? Is that what you go by? So I experimented. I think I have a little bit of a solution here that can do some cool things for the DataBinder, and I want to share that with you, walk through and see if there's some more interesting things we can do with that to kind of hack Blazor to do our bidding. And see what we can do then about getting back into our form view, because I think this DataBinder technique is going to answer and maybe solve a couple things here. All right, we'll just call you Cy. Thank you so much. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate you joining us and helping us reach our 10,000 follower goal. When we get there, we'll have a 12-hour festival of programming and guests and all kinds of great stuff that we'll plan over a full day here, so that everybody in all the time zones have a chance to tune in and watch. Yeah, see, Psi 255, but in hex. What else? I've got a bunch of stuff queued up to be sent out here. Monday is a postal holiday here in the States, so we'll try and get that sent out on Tuesday. We have a pull request sitting out here in the project. We're going to take a look at that, and then I'll take you through and we'll do some work with the DataBinder. Let me get some music playing here in the background to get us started. Today, I'm gonna play my Orange today. This is Orange from Music to Code By. Scientifically designed, it's engineered to get you in the flow, get you in the groove, so that whatever task you're working on, you could focus on and just get stuff done. Written by our friend Mr. Carl Franklin, who's out on his own, he's on a road tour, teaching all about Blazor all around the United States all month long. Actually, I think he goes through March also. Check out Music to Code by mtcb.pwop.com and get your copy today. You can execute the music command in the chat room. Is that Jara asks, any .NET Core open source projects that are easy to pop in and contribute to? It's a good question. There are a number of different places that you can go to learn about different projects that open source projects that folks are interested in. This is First Timers Only at firsttimersonly.com. You can take a look here, and there are links to, where is it? I thought there was a list of projects here. Upforgrabs.net is another one that you can go to, Code Triage. And here we go. You can look for the label First Timers Only on GitHub, and it'll show you all kinds of projects. And you would have to add another filter here to make sure it's C#, .NET Core, right? You can drill into your favorite language over here and pull up some tasks, some things that are open for first timers. Here's Code Triage. You can check in here. I would not look at Roslyn as something that's newbie friendly. So if we check in on C#, you can contribute to PowerShell, right? I mean, these are some really high-end ones here that might not be as easy to contribute to, but I would look for smaller ones. These bigger ones are going to be really tough to pick up on and learn all the nuance of it, because some of these are pretty complex, right? But you might be able to jump in, maybe Glimpse over here, Blazor Eyes you might be able to help out with. Top Shelf's another good one, but it's building Windows services. So there's a little bit of stuff there that could be tricky to get involved with. Finally, the last one is Up for Grabs. And you can search by label, by tags here. You can jump in and find some .NET projects and figure out where you want to jump in. Really great stuff. I encourage you to check out some of that stuff over there. So there's a couple projects, a couple places you can look at. Legendary Moo got to see Carl at his first stop on the, I think it's supposed to be Blazor Roadshow. Good presentation. Only criticism was the debugging client-side Blazor by referencing it in a server-side Blazor project made things a little confusing. That is a little confusing. But you can debug client-side Blazor in the browser. So that's definitely a thing that you can do with Chrome. I think you can definitely do it with Chrome. They don't have it wired up properly for Edge yet, I don't think. But you can definitely see how that works. Thank you for the follow. Tagaron1. Uh-oh. Tagaron1. We've got a second Tagaron. Welcome in. So let me take a look at the pull requests. I have a pull request here from Gareth about doing the list view grouping. Now, this is tricky. This is something that we kind of avoided. We said this is a little bit more complex. Let's come back to this. But Gareth jumped right in and attacked this one. The list view component has the ability to say group by these different things, right? Group by changes in this value. Well, he went and attacked this one and put together some a control sample here. So here's a list view of 8 items grouped into 3s. Now, the list view has a layout template, and he didn't use the layout template here, which has me wondering if somehow the layout template got broken. So I want to take a look at this. Still the same tagger on, but Twitch showed you is not following. Oh no. Hello there. Is that UF for real? Welcome. So we got right. These are some sample things to get you being able to see his grouping sample, and the before web forms adding a grouping version here, so we can see what it looks like when he groups. Pardon me. Oh my goodness. So here's the code behind new data source. Okay. And what's he have it grouping by? Group item count 2. So all right. And designer, big deal. Model binding, he changed up a little bit to put the put a little menu bar at the top of that so we can see it. Good. Here's a test for grouping 7 by 3. Group item count 3. See, this should be able to use the layout template to get this to work. And nice, he shows here's what the HTML is that he's expecting and how it's laid out. Nice. Nice. And all the tests are passing. It is laying out and displaying properly. Here we go. So layout template is in there. So that should work. I fail. What? What did I fail? Marcus, voice programmer. What did I fail? Oh, you fail. Aha! Aha! That's the... I get it. There's a... All right. Well done. And inside the list view, simplified, pulling all the templates a little bit closer together here. The layout template, we can remove this because we actually do support a layout template now. But I think we want to put a little bit of help text with some of these eventually. We can come back to that. It looks pretty good, but I want to take a look at running this so that I can dig in a little bit further here. So let me go over to my command window here. You make me sad. That should get checkout and put it all. What the heck did it do? Yeah, reload. Okay, so I'm in a branch that's specific to what Gareth was working on. Hey there, unhip coder, welcome in. So we should now be able to see exactly what Gareth's code was doing. So my unit tests, they're rebuilding here because it saw a change. You want me to close and restart Visual Studio? I don't think so. I don't think so. 135, it didn't run 2 of the tests. Which test didn't it run? List view, grouping. Well, run them already. Blue Blood, GG. This is music to code by. It's designed to get you in the groove, to get you kind of focused. So this is called orange. There you go. And good. The tests ran successfully. Let's see what this looks like. I'm going to start this in my Blazor project so we can see the grouping bits working there. And I'd like to go back and introduce the layout template to some of those, because it would be a heck of a lot easier. Let me put my redemption queue over here so I can see that. Be really great to be able to see them in here. So here, grouping sample. So here's a list view of 8 items grouped into 3s. So group start, group end, grouping separator, group start. So here's first 3, next 3, and 2 left over. Okay. So you can see clearly where the group start and group end is. Nice. And the layout still does the layout. Okay. So, I mean, we don't need to force the layout into it, but it sure looks like it works together just fine. Right? So, and over here, there's the grouping sample. I can click into it here also. Great. All right. I'm sold. Right? And the when I scroll down here, here's list view, and here's the 2 grouping tests written up so that you could see how those work. Nice. Okay. So, I'm going to... Yes. I'm going to add my review. Looks really good. I like how you've added samples and expanded the menuing to make it easier to navigate the before Web Forms version. Alright, approve that, and I will squash and merge. So this will add the grouping feature into our dev branch. So we've already got that. I don't need to include that. Yeah, I'm just gonna list view grouping. So there it is, merged in. And I'm gonna click through to number 25 here and close that because it's been added. Great stuff. Really like seeing that. So all of these things were built and added in. So now we can group inside the list view. But there's grouping features in some of our other components as well, and we're going to need to introduce a similar technique into those components when we get there. And that's okay. We've now got an approach that we can repeat since we as a project team have figured that out together now. So, must not have anyone in my office, says Busterford. No, it's just in my head. It's just over here. It's okay. How does this camera look? Because this camera is now connected directly to the PC that I'm working on. What do you think, chat room? Is it doing well? Is it... What do we think? I think we're okay. Sound looks fine. Good. Looks really bad. Jaroke. What? What looks so... No, that's just me. It's just the view. I see what you're doing there. All right. So we've got that merged. We have that feature now available, and we'll make sure that goes out in the next list of the next preview version that we issue here. But I started tinkering with this question here, and this is what I want to talk about today. Can we do that eval method inside the DataBinder, right? In Web Forms, you got this syntax here. when you're iterating that says eval and some field name, and that's kind of cheesy. That's kind of, I don't know, right? Curious Drive, well, thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate the compliment. And really, I'd like to get people into the more of a Razor format but some folks, getting them to even change this bee sting notation to an @ is going to be tricky. So, right, I want to get them really into item dot employee name. But this syntax, what if we could get that to work? So I prototyped something. Protopoly.com, your vacation trip is a go. Fantastic. Where's your vacation to? Let me know. Where are you headed? Or don't share. Drop me a whisper if you don't want to share it publicly. That's okay too. So what if we could get this syntax to work? Right? You're not actually referring to the item. You're not referring to the context of where you are in a template here. But we're able to get it to work. Let me explain. Let me show a little bit further. And then, there it was with the end then. There it was. Yes.
And then?
Take a look at what we can do to make this easier. So, right, so typically we do @item ID, right? Something like that. To connect up and say, well, drop the ID value of whatever item we're iterating over here. And we have to add this context thing to make that work. But what if we didn't have to? What if we could do that eval and we don't have to think about the item, it just does it, right? Let me delete that other branch. Okay. But what if we could just eval it, right? In Web Forms, right? If I go up here in my before Web Forms project, control samples, and if I take a look at the list view, right? Now, I'm already using the model binding syntax by saying things like this, but right, by doing that item.id, which model binding wise is really good, easy to use. But there's very much this concept of being able to say that, and it'll format and output the name of this parameter and put it in there. In fact, you can even put a format string in here, right? If I want to format it as currency, and it'll format it. And you don't even have to say just eval. You can give it the full name here of DataBinder dot eval, and it'll, whatever the item is that it's iterating over, format and drop that in there. Ooh, Protopoly, enjoy. That's really cool. Flav Creations is here. Toss an acorn to your favorite squirrel. Good to see you, my friend. Flav's another member of the Live Coders team. Hey, Simon. Hello, hello. So, you can't debug and run tests at the same time, says Caparino. No, you can't. It can only do one. Visual Studio can do only one of the things at a time. Wow, that is a long trip, Protopoly. You enjoy that. Air 2's like pipes in Angular. I'm not too familiar with pipes. But the idea is that whatever item I'm iterating over here, so I believe, right, you have a repeater, you do a for loop, you do a template inside Angular, I believe it is. This is my template as I'm iterating over it for the alternating items, right? So you can get that two different formats. You're getting married! Protopoly, congratulations! 7 years! It's a long time together. Best of luck to you and yours. Congratulations. So, this DataBinder, there isn't a thing like that in Blazor until yesterday. And I can recompile And this web forms thing here, this will work. Look at this, watch this. Build succeeded, see that? And I could navigate and I would see ID numbers as currency if I actually went to that, right? Where is it? Debug. Start new instance. When you live with someone for 7 years, you learn. Yes, you do. Flav asks, is this the AT2020 mic that I'm using? Yes. Yes, it is. This is the Audio-Technica 2020. I have it hooked up to a Mackie Pro FX mixer. There's details on my setup if you go to live.jeffreyfritz.com. So I'll go back over to list view. Here, this is the web forms version, and you'll see on the alternating items, the ID is going to be formatted as currency. Look at how nice and long it takes. Ah, it's wonderful. It must be web forms. It has to be web forms. Right? Look at how long it takes. Oh, come on. That's the wonder of web forms, is how long it takes to run these things. Your mic arm allows any studio mic Protopoli? Yeah. This is a Rode Podcaster. The Rode arm, and I had a Podcaster mic on it. Why am I hitting a pause? System string does not contain property with the name. Really? Oh, I have it backwards, don't I? Don't I have this backwards? DataBinder eval. Oh yeah, I have to put the container. Oh, yes, love it. Container data item, and everybody always puts container data item there for this thing. Always, 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 always. Which is kind of stupid, because there's nothing else that you would ever really put there. This has an XLR connector on it. Come on. There we go. Back to list view. There it is. See? So now it's formatting as currency because I've done this DataBinder eval. But I now have that available. LiveJeffreyFritz.com doesn't work for you. There it goes. That actually redirects to that location. So you can go there, and there's links to, hey, videos and my setup. I need to add another setup here with more details. Another blog post with details of where my setup is now. So, yeah, the XLR is 3 pins. Yeah, 3 pins on an XLR microphone. So where was I? So, this DataBinder you see littered all over ASP.NET Web Forms applications. So what if we wrote a DataBinder? What if I could give you the ability to say eval and get it to actually work and output and render content appropriately? So what if I could do that? What if I could do, right? Well, we'll get in here a little bit more. So let me run this, and I'm going to go to, this is the list view index. Even a $50 studio mic sounded better than a Blue Yeti. The USB microphones, they digitize and you lose a little bit of quality. So now, right, there's item 2. That is being routed now through this eval. Okay? Because it's the alternating item. So we have the ability now to not reference the item object and get it to deliver. The boss in fire. Hello. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you joining us there in the chat room. So what we're running into... Am I going to add... Coding Stock asks if we're going to add AutoPostBack. Hang on. Things like postback, because we're getting into Blazor, we're going to avoid postback. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Those types of interactions we're going to handle inside of our Blazor component and be able to hand off to an event so that whether or not it's postback or not, you don't care. So we're getting somewhere with this. We really are, and folks are really starting to take notice. So this renders properly. Now let me show you kind of what I did with this, because it's a little crazy what I did. So I wrote a DataBinder class and I put an obsolete tag on this because this is not a long-term solution, and I can't get all of this working properly anyway. And I need to add a link for documentation about how you should migrate away from this. So I want to add a link, a page into our GitHub docs that tell people how to move away from this. But let me show you what I do down here in the eval. So check this out. I'm going to close up before Web Forms here. Scroll down a little bit. Let me close up the test just so we can get over here. Why don't you like that? I don't liked it just fine just a second ago because it ran. So here's the thing. I check, and I need to finish rolling this out to the rest of the components because I only put it in list view because this was a prototype. Inside of list view is a base model binding component, which is a base data binding component, and as a that one? Which one? Here it is. So as a base model binding component, and all of these are model binding components, I have a collection of items. And to make going across the list a little bit easier, I actually stored in a list. I forced that IEnumerable that might be set on this into a list so I can access that directly. So I do this little conversion so that I can get that. I added this. But what I did do, where is it? There is... I don't see it. Where did I put it? There is a current item. I don't see it anywhere here. Chris Jones!
Chris Jones just resubscribed for 18 months. WOOT.
Woot indeed. Thank you so much. Oh, I know where it is. Over here in my list view, as it goes across the collection, right? So for each item in the list, here output appropriately the item template or the alternating item template, but pass along a cascading value of the current data bound item, right? I'm going to name it current data bound item, and I'm going to stuff that item into it. Where do you see this? This is a little crazy what I do here. So I stuffed that into that item, and I open a new component that I called eval. I pass in whatever the field name was that you declared in whatever format it is, if you declared a format, and close the component, and I return that as a render fragment from eval. I'm not returning a string, I'm returning a render fragment to be formatted on screen. Now this means it's going to be slightly different from how it works in web forms, but for the most part people execute this eval and they just drop the string there. So what if, and if you need to do something more, well, go bind it properly. So now if I look at this eval razor, how's this for cheating? Output, and I'm receiving, right, there's my current data bound item as a cascading parameter, right? Cascading parameters and cascading values are a way for us to pass values, parameters, from a parent component in Blazor to a child component in Blazor. And because I'm creating this component on the fly and adding it into the the builder tree here, this will be executed and it will find and receive that current data-bound item. There's the property name, there's the format that I specified and pass in as these two attributes. They're received, and when I call output to actually output the string, to output here's what is the result of my eval component here, I'm getting the appropriate type from the item, doing some reflection to get the property, and applying string formatting. That's it. Chat room, what do you think? That's right. That's a little tricksy way to work around what it was trying to do to get it to behave a little bit better for me. Count Oren, hello, welcome in. Nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us here in the chat room. So I've now got Blazor with the ability to do an eval and output. So eval is really a static method on DataBinder. And most folks, when they pass in that container signature, well, I don't care what the container is. In Blazor, the item that you're evaluating from the DataBinder is this one. So go do that. And if you need to do something more than that, go use the item syntax that we have for MVC. Right? I want to get the 90% scenario, the 80 to 90% situations working. And if it behaves differently, that's okay. Or right, if I don't have that feature supported yet, well, go do something else. Like, this is kind of weird. Get property value on the object that we're passing in. Why not just say item dot value, item dot property name? That's all I did. Right? Container, get type, whatever object was passed in. Here it is. Stelzy, you're on to something. Making this route through a component, doesn't that make it heavier to execute? Doesn't that mean it needs more resources? Yes. But remember, the whole purpose of this is to give a shim to get people migrated and into Blazor. And Oren is right as well. This is using a little bit of reflection. There it is right there. Get type and then get the property appropriately off of it. It's not intended to be high performance. High performance means there's no reason to move off of this. It performs great. Let it perform slowly. Let it perform less optimally so that it does get folks into Blazor. Gets the application working.
And then?
They can optimize and start adhering to more Blazor-friendly techniques.
And then?
Move away from needing this library altogether. This is a bridge. This isn't intended to be a long-term solution.
And then?
Well, hang on. So Oren says, I'm kind of cheating. No, it works. It absolutely works. Losing type safety. Well, yes, but you never had type safety in Web Forms to begin with. The type safety of the DataBinder isn't there. Look, the data binder never was type safe. Right? When you call eval on this, it returns an object. There is no type safety in this. That's why you use the item and model bind. When you use the item iterator, you do get strong typing. You do get type safety. You do get all these things that we do prefer and we do want to encourage. So you're not losing type safety in the data binder that I've implemented. You continue to not have type safety. You never had it to begin with. The way to do that is to convert and use the item notation. That way, I completely agree with you, Oren. Then you've got type safety. Then you've got compilation helping you along the way. And you don't have to be concerned about that a little bit. Not a problem, Count Orin. Not a problem. I appreciate... Look, this is what I love about live programming here on Twitch. Keep me honest. Keep the project honest. If there's something that we're missing, if there's something that we're doing that's a bad practice, question it. Challenge me. Tell me that we're doing something wrong there. Tell me that I...
And you blew it!
And let's go fix it. Let's make it better. Send a pull request. Create an issue. Let's become better developers and build better software together. And that's why I love your feedback, especially that. So thank you, Warren. No need to apologize at all, because let me tell you,
60% of the time, it works every time. And
the other 40% chat room is able to chime in and help with. Right? So, thank you. So I have eval working, and when I look at the various syntaxes, syntaxes, what's the plural of syntax? Whatever. So okay, equals. If you're calling DataBinder dot equals, what the heck are you doing? No, never doing that. But I got the two evals. The data item, get data item. This is weird because you're calling get data item to get the object back. I can't give you the object because of how I'm rendering through the. Simon says syntax is one of those plural and singular words. Oh, like deer, right? You saw deer crossing the road, right? Jedi is like that also, isn't it? One syntax, many sentai. And Unhip Coder chiming in with syntaxy? Well, syntaxy is what you wave down when you need to get to someplace on the other side of town. You wave down the syntaxy. That's a thing. So, what I did for the get data item stuff here is I just marked it as not implemented exception. Doesn't work. So if you try and call that, throw in an error, and we could probably provide some notation here, right? For a message, right? We could say get data item is not supported with Blazor. Please use, right? That's not a period. Please use at context or at item notation to get the item you wish to work with. To get the item, see link for more details, right? And this type of I want to start considering this type of notation for error messages and comments so that our documentation, and we need to have rich documentation around this, so that we can route people to get more information about this. Well, so here's the thing. You're right. Right, by putting it in, right, I can certainly add it to the summary here as well, so that it's in both places. Right, there it is. It's a very good point, because in Visual Studio now, right, that link, GitHub.com, Fritz and Friends, Blazor Web Forms Components, docs, and somewhere else. When I now call that get data item somewhere else, right? Get data item. Right now, oh, that's not clickable here. That's supposed to be clickable. You're supposed to be able to click those links. Do I need to put it in an actual A tag? Do I need to make that an A? That's not right. That's not right. See the docs, right? So now when Right, get data item. It's not turning that into documentation for me. Huh. Unless you tick the box in the project properties that says output documentation XML. Really? Really? I thought it was just always available, no matter what. But we should have output XML turned on. What are you doing? Wait, what's going on? Hello?
What'd you do?
So the obsolete attribute, let me just point out, I put obsolete on the whole class. So if you're referencing this, you're going to get an obsolete message. Because I don't want you to be using the project, the DataBinder long term. Get that out of the way. Yeah, why am I not getting my maybe this is one of those times when you need to restart. Get a fresh Visual Studio running. The obsolete attribute a boolean to emit an error on build. I don't want to force an error on people. I want to force a warning on you so that it's just out there annoying you. And let you decide if that should be dialed up or not. There we go. Where is it? The output XML documentation file. There we go. Yeah, I guess that's where I want to put it. Sure. I feel like do that, and the output path. Well, no. What happens if I just save it like that? What does that look like? Right? So, where is it? There it is. Documentation file. And it's only doing that when debug. Should always do that. Particularly when I'm in release. Right? Put that up here. Get rid of this one. Thank you for the follow, Mr. Jojo. Welcome in. Hello, hello. So let me go back to the DataBinder rebuild. And I should see that as... Yeah, I know. No, it didn't turn that into an anchor. Right? href, that should have turned into an anchor. If I'm going to throw at runtime, then you need to force an obsolete error. Sure. Right, actually throw the error. Sure. I'm okay with that. So there we go. But, right, that interactive documentation, this is supposed to be a new feature that's in here. It's not working. Yeah, we'll have the exception because it's here now before it actually gets called. But this also means I can test and force that it is, ensure that it is throwing that error. And I haven't written any tests to go with this yet. Yeah, those interactive docs appear to be broken. Right? I mean, I can... But it's, yeah, that's weird. What about without the anchor tag? That's the way I had it to start with here, and it wasn't... And it wasn't showing that. Right? Good. Nope. See, it's still not clickable. That should be a thing that I can click. Robert Tables is here. Hello, my friend. Hello. Did I, on the Properties Build tab? Yes. Properties. Build. XML documentation file. So it's there. Right now I'm getting errors because I don't have documentation being generated for some of these. Right? Like eval, right? It's got the sirens in there, right? Right? That's appearing. Right? It is properly doing the emotes. But Simon suggesting I add the XML file to the git ignore because I don't want it in source control as it's auto-generated. Yeah. I'm not sure I want to do those settings, those changes in a Spike branch that I'm working on here. But before it gets through to dev, we'll take care of that. Yeah, that Visual Studio Interactive IntelliSense? No. That's interesting that Visual Studio Code comes up first. And then Python. 2019 IntelliSense tags, and there's a way to get it to, right? You get HTML tags in it. I was doing this with like bold. I don't see it. Right? So, like, you can put a bold tag on this, right? And yeah, it's not handling that at all. I'm wondering if it's just not in the preview yet. I had this in a previous version, I thought. Anyways, so I have that working, right? I have this able to format and output, and it works well. The CHREF, that's the whole gimmick that they were promoting at Ignite was this is working, and it's not in the. It doesn't look like it's in the preview branch anymore. Like they pulled it back. Right, but where'd that go? In the get data item here, right? If I change that, sure. See, it's looking for. That's a code reference that it, right? You can't do href and it'll work. So, we'll come back around on this. What about strong instead of B? No. See? It's not there. I think they pulled it out. I think they pulled it back. So, alright, I'm going to move on. So I have this now properly working so that the DataBinder, the old ugly DataBinder, is doing the right things And you're right about putting the obsolete and forcing a break when we're calling some of these. But in order for me to finish implementing this, I need to also put it, I have it in list view so that it generates that cascading value here, right? Pass that into all the child components. I need to do that also in my repeater and my data list so that those can have the same feature. So let me open the repeater over here. And it's going to be right here around alternating item template. I'm going to do the exact same thing. But I need to, this row counter, you can't do that. You lose the state with the row counter. So we need to get rid of that. No big deal. Piece of cake. So we just wrap this. Boom. Right? That's that if... I think I need this here. I think that's where it's supposed to be. Yeah, that one matches up there. There we go. Okay. What don't you like? That's good. That's this. Down through there. This is that one. What's this one too? I don't think that's a thing. This matches to the 4. Oh. To that, and then we have footer template, and we're good. Okay. So row counter isn't a thing over here anymore. Instead, I can go through the items list and make sure that I actually have it. And check the position. Done. So, now my repeater should support all of those features as well. Let's make sure we run through all of these. Come on. Right, I don't want to see any failed errors. Right, and this is the beauty of having the unit tests. I can verify that I didn't break anything anywhere across the entire project here. Sure taking a long time to build. Like, this was running a lot faster. Just a few minutes ago, even. Right? Like, what are you doing? 9 seconds, my foot. It was not 9 seconds. But that worked. Okay, so now I can go over and let me go to the, not tree node. Although tree node, I wonder if you ever used the DataBinder in the... No, you don't have templates inside the tree nodes. But in, let's see, list view, repeater, what's the other one? Data list. That's it, data list up here. Right, we're gonna have the same type thing. Look at that with the styles. Ugh. And it's going to be... Now, data list is much, much more complex. Much. So here's the separators. Right, so... Item style, alternating item template. Here. Right, it's passing the item into these. So at this point, mods! Oh my goodness.
Mod 2005 just resubscribed for 21 months.
21
C#
months?
C# clip.
Thank you so much, mods, for that. All of that support. That is tremendous. And we're going to make another donation to code.org. How are you doing, my friend? It's so good to see you. Appreciate you tuning in. My goodness. Is this going to work if I... So there's the footer. Yeah, I should be able to... just wrap this, right? With that same, let me grab the exact same syntax. Just like this. Thanks. And down here, we'll do the end cascading value. Move that over. Bring that back. Bring these two back. That should do the same thing. Let's run and make sure that that didn't break anything. And come on, I'm feeling good. Let's see, keeping an eye on things. Come on. All those grouping tests should still... Oh, I didn't... This isn't the grouping stuff. I don't have that pulled in here. I'm going to have to pull that in and reapply. Because that's going to change a whole bunch of stuff. Here we go. Now the tests are running. What did I break? Come on. Tell me I broke something. Break it. Break it. We can make it better. We can improve it. We can speed up Visual Studio. Wow, that's really long. Hey, it's Litany. Hello, hello.
Make it so.
I hope so. Sika Player with the raid.
Sika Player raided my stream with 23 viewers.
Oh my goodness. Hello, hello. Welcome in. How are you doing, my friend? It's good to see you. Oh, I'm struggling with Visual Studio running a little bit long here for me. We could make it more betterer. Indexed items.aggregate here. Where? You like the background music? How's it going? CM Kaboy. How do you pronounce it? C Macaboy? How do you pronounce that? Yes, you can defend the channel. There you go. Thank you, my friends. Did I know that Sika Player is building a React jQuery app? Yes, I did. C Macaboy. All right. Well done. We'll do that. This is taking a real long time to build. Oh my goodness. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz. I'm writing code here live on stream. We're building components with Blazor. That's C#, that's HTML, that'll run in the browser. It gets compiled to native code and runs on top of WebAssembly. Or you can run those same components, those same templates, server side, your choice of location. And we're building some components here to make it a little bit easier for folks to work with. Looks like Me Too says, looks like C# Fritz is a member of Team Semicolons. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, it's C#. You must use semicolons. They are not optional. They are required. This is bothering me how long this is taking to run, because this should be very, very fast. I'm not quite sure what it's doing behind the scenes here, but I'm worried. You know? What you doing? Noticed Visual Studio 2019 taking a long time to add NuGet and to build last night after the latest Windows updates. Yes. Yes, I agree. There's something... Now I can't run my unit tests at all here. It's just kind of dead. Something happened here. Let me close and restart Visual Studio, see if we can trigger this. I see a couple of comments there. Hang on, let me queue them up and we'll take another look in here. So let's restart this. And let me take a look at the task manager, see if there's something ugly hanging out here that we can clue. We can fix, maybe? Yeah, my CPU is pegged. So what happens when you run an OBS and Visual Studio at the same time? No. Now I'm dead. Love it when my PC locks up. Yeah, now we're really. Let me see here. Degs suggests, what about checking first render on param set? On param set, you can't check first render. That's not a thing over there. Sprawler2121, thank you for the follow. No, me too. You did not see that. I have Chatty running, and that's what I use to monitor, what's it called? Chat room. Can you sort by the duration column for the test? I'm not even getting there yet. But let me see if I can kick this back off one more time. Maybe we've got a fresh test runner or something here. I don't know. Right, but I'm looking at how long that build is taking, and now that's bothering me. That's really bothering me. LolCoolCat asks, what is Razor? Razor is a templating format that you can use that mixes C# with HTML. You flip back and forth between the language and your markup by using curly braces, and it'll go into C# mode at that point. You can work with the language, and when you change back to a tag, the templating engine recognizes you're in tag mode and allows you to pivot back and forth between the two. So, I do have a dual rig streaming setup. I was running into a problem with the camera lagging, but I have a feeling the camera is killing me here today. And that's a little bit of what's going on, is my camera is just flooding memory here and killing things. Because I'm at 100% CPU. Yeah. I have a feeling, because right when I look at this, OBS is just crushing my machine right now. Not even that much. Look at that. Test host, 7 gig. What the heck is this doing at 7 gig? And it's going and getting more memory. That's not right. 8 gig. Look at that. 9. I think there's a memory leak. I might be wrong. 10 gig. Stop that. No. Stop. You. Kill the bad man. What's it doing? Right? That my unit tests are just out of control there.
Oh my.
I know. And this isn't right. Test run aborted after 1.8 minutes. You think? Hang on. Options. We should have some logging being output. Did we get any logging? Test host process crashed. Yeah, I know. Discovering tests in... Why is it looking There is no reference to these projects. You don't have access to those projects, test project. Why are you looking there? It's looking in all the generated... Look, it's even looking in the web form stuff. Why are you looking there? I don't want you looking there. You make me sad. Try that again. Right, sort by memory. Here comes the test host right there. Did this just crush it? Like, did I create a memory leak here by doing this thing? Like, this updating view here. So let's get rid of these two. Right? And discovering tests. What? How do I not have the not equal signs? The not equal signs. I have the not equal signs right there. Take Visual Studio out of the picture, run into terminal, and see what happens. That's not a bad idea. Right? So that ran properly now. Still sorting by memory. It should be... So did either I put the oh, you want to know about the ligatures? That is Cascadia code. I didn't create the font command. Check out Cascadia code. It's available out here on GitHub. There you go. Thank you, me too. Yeah, I need to link a font tag there. But it ran the unit test. I think this cascading value crushed it. Right? I think that do while. I bet you this is a do while and that index goes down. This, I'm willing to bet, wasn't being handled properly. Right? Remember the problem I showed you that I had with the problem that I had where I had to the row number I had to pull out of the list view? Yeah, that doesn't work. No, Robert Tables, what is that? So now it should be building the test, running the test. Now it's running the test, right? And I get a red X. Okay, good. Now I can find my error here and fix this. Right? So in introducing here in the data list, right? It's not finding the alternating item, right? Because this even not even isn't changing. Let's format it like that. And this one down here. So now let's see. on data item bound. Let's move that outside also. And let's see if that fixes these. Cadmus, hello, welcome in. Yeah, the do while is nice because you want to count down while there's still stuff here instead of a for loop. All right, so we're almost there. Razor, this one. Okay. It's interesting, right? Because it's like that even value isn't being set properly. Let's debug into that one. Simon. Clippy says, I see you're creating a do loop. Can I help you make that run infinitely? You can't. I'm sorry. Thank you for your time, Clippy. Okay, so even is set to true now. So now it should flip over and be false the next time through this. So now even is false. So this TD should have been yeah. Right? Oh, wait a sec. It's executing that a lot of times. Let's do this. Let's take a look at the markup for this. Check this out. Watch this, friends. HTML. That looks right. That looks like what I wanted. Oh, wait, did it make... No, it doesn't. Because the alternating... Jonathan! Thank you so much for that sub. I appreciate you joining us with your Twitch Prime. You're going to get 17 emotes. All the ads are going to be turned off here on the channel. You get to throw emotes at my face every time that you use those in chat. And we're going to make a donation to code.org on behalf of you. Thank you so much for your support, Jonathan. I really appreciate it. So it's always outputting the alternating item template. That's not right. That's not right at all. Dare I say that's broken. So the way that I did this was, right, see, and it won't even let me break on that even in there. Right? Let me try that one more time. I'm going to put the break in there. What do you mean unknown project? What are you talking about, unknown project? I'll give you unknown. Debug this. Here we go. Let's get into this. Count Oren is 10 years into their C# development journey. That's awesome. Well done. Hey, Mary Jo Stabler is here. Hello, hello. Now why didn't I get alternating template, Razor test runner, debug. Do the thing now. Come on. What do you mean test run finished? You didn't even start, punk. Let's try this again. Rebuild. It's that Mary Jo Stabler. Mary Jo's a member of the Live Coders team, just like It's Litany there.
I'm Scott, I'm new here.
Thank you so much. Hey, and It's Litany with the sub. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for that.
I'm Scott, I'm new here.
Oh my gosh, and is that Basak? Welcome. That is the sentiment analysis, the smiley that you see there. Rebuild all succeeded. Should run all my tests now. And we'll go through and hit the debug. You started the revolution. Yes. Gotta support those donations. Yes, with all of those cheers, those subs, you subscribed for free with Twitch Prime. That's great. You're already getting free shipping and free all the things over on Amazon. And now we're supporting kids learning how to write code, learning about technology in classrooms through code.org, thanks to your subs. Kelly! Thank you so much for that cheer. I appreciate you adding some value. And we'll make another donation to code.org. Every cheer, every subscription. Sentiment analysis, Me Too asks, based on what? Based on the chat room. The messages in chat. It's doing sentiment analysis on every message that comes through here. Are we on the hype train? I didn't realize we're on the hype train. Oh my goodness. Here it comes. Absolutely. And that hype train, everything from the hype train goes to code.org. So we are on level 1, 3.5 minutes to go. Do I need to activate party mode? Friends, should I go for the hype train? Do I need to? Should I activate party mode? I think it's only fair.
I'm Scott. I'm new here.
Cadmus with the sub. Thank you so much. That takes us past level 1 into level 2. We're going to need to set up party mode. I think it's only right. And gifting a sub, Litany. Thank you so much.
Just gifted 1 subs.
Yes. And now I'm locked up again. Why isn't voice mod running? Should be here. That's just what I need, is to start doing this. 4.5 minutes to get to level 3 of the hype train. Finish level 2. This is going to be the party time. Change over to this. Turn that off. Oh, we had it. There it is. Welcome in, friends. I'm gonna go party time for the duration of the hype train. 4 minutes to go. Thank you so much. It's Litany for the gift sub, for Not So Blaha, and 5 other folks in chat just got emotes. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, Marcus, spread the hype. It's so good. Party mode is engaged. All right. I'm using sentiment analysis in Azure. That's right, Jonathan9375. Oh yeah. Me Too asks, where is it? What's that clip from? The one that says, I'm Scott, I'm new here. That is Scott Hanselman and Scott Guthrie. Scott Guthrie is the head of Microsoft Azure, Executive Vice President at Microsoft Build Conference 2 years ago. And there was an interesting exchange where Scott Hanselman's giving a demo and his microphone doesn't work. So here comes the executive that's leading the...
Dr. Scott!
Right, that's it. Yep, leading the keynote and is holding a microphone. Really great stuff.
Let me add some value.
Eternal Dev Coder, thank you for the cheer. Another donation to code.org. 3 minutes to go, just over 3 minutes to get to level 3 of the hype train. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on here as the hype rolls. See if we can get this done. So I have an item. I don't need to, I can even look at IDX in here instead of even, right? I could, right here on this. Did you see that? It jumped right over that. I think we need to go dig into this. Where is indexed items coming from?
Let me add some value.
Bald-bearded builder is back!
I'm late. Guess we have to start over.
Oh. No starting over. 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the hype train. Thank you so much, my friend. And we'll make another donation to code.org. The bald-bearded builder, that's Michael Jolly. Check him out. He's another member of the Live Coders. Can we get a shout out for the bald-bearded builder? ARM template versus Terraform. No, this is using Azure Cognitive Services for the sentiment analysis that you see over there. All right. What's this doing? Element index. Pac-Man Jr.
Parkman just gifted 10 subs.
10 subs! Oh my goodness, thank you so much, my friend. That's gonna be 10 more donations to code.org. That hype train is moving on. Thank you so much for the generosity. 50 emotes into the channel. Cursed El Bumo, Ratcha08, Ken Pachi, DNI Stream, Fedor, CLW, Hufo, KO Hamid, M. Magano, and Junie Von Esch. You've all got subscriptions thanks to our friend Pac-Man Jr. And the folks at code.org are getting a bit more support. Thank you so much. We're on to level 4 of the hype train. 4 minutes to go. Yeah, that completed levels 2 and 3. So this is element index to calculate the location and position of the items within the data list. Okay. All right. That's a thing. Okay. So let's see. So down here, when it's this side. Well, hang on. This is going to be thrown out the window anyway when I'm merging the grouping. Oh yes, Arcor. Still on the robotic party time voice. It's turned on because we're on the hype train. 3 minutes to go. Absolutely, it's litany. Keep it this way. Keep it rolling while we're having some fun. Jonathan, thank you for the clippies in chat. The bots are replacing us. No, they are not. I feel like I should merge over the data list changes before I try to go any further on this. So, yeah, I'm gonna roll this one back and merge. So let's see, what do we have here? Take a look at source control. So let's add an ignore for the Blazor Web Forms components, XAML. Right. Here's my get ignore. And I'm gonna go to the project XML documentation. And that'll be Blazor Web Forms Components XML. That's not XML. That's XML. Looks like you're having a party. Would you like us to invite some robots? Don't mind if I do, Cadmus. Thanks so much. Mary Jo asks, when does he break out into song? I don't. That's a bad idea. Bad idea. No.
Inconceivable!
Not gonna do it. Let's see. Continuing on, Robert Table says, it looks like you're using Notepad. Would you like to try a full IDE? Yes, I would. And I would prefer if nobody redeemed that. It's Litany asks, is that pop-up from featured chat? Yes, it is. It's so good. Thank you so much for the support. Just under 2 minutes to go, trying to get level 4 complete on the hype train. Should we cheer to get the other IDE? Well, I'm ending in about 20 minutes, so you can do that. No karaoke. There will not be karaoke here on stream. Bad idea. No, not doing that. No way. No how. Not happen. Okay, so that should now properly ignore. There we go. It doesn't see the other file. I'm not gonna add data list. So let's Let's piecemeal add these in. Add the samples. The CS project. Yes. Yep, DataBinder. We'll take that one. There we go. Hype train success. Absolutely. Why is it saying level 2 completed when we clearly got to level 4? There we go. Hype train emotes for everybody. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, we had a bit of fun. I appreciate the, wait, I hit, no, whatever. Alright, let's go back to normal.
And we're back. Right? Look at all the hype train emotes for folks that participated. Thank you so much for that. And yes, we are going to be making a bunch of donations to code.org. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's get the music playing again here. Not theme music. That's the wrong music. There we go. Back to orange. Yeah, I know. I want to add more files. I don't want the data list. I want the repeater. We got that working. And I'm going to leave the data list out. So let's commit and say applied DataBinder to repeater component. And all these are going to get compressed and go away anyway. Once we set up our pull request. Now I will reset hard to get rid of that change to the data list. Thank you for the follow, Edyard Soy. Welcome in. Thanks so much for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. And I look forward to seeing you in the chat room, Edyard. So now let me do a git pull, and I'll merge origin dev. Yes, there's some conflicts. I know. So where's that conflict? It is in list view razor. All right, we'll take a look see at that one. So we're gonna do. Oh, this isn't gonna be good. Oh no. All right. Code source Blazor web components list view. Let's take a look at that file. Visual Studio Code, I feel gives me a better representation when I want to merge these and I can see what's going on. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got to fix in here. Yeah, so the grouping is in here. Group item count. And, ooh, yeah. So here's what I'm tempted to do. I don't want the head version of this. I want to keep the... Come on, light these up. I want to keep origin dev. I want to keep the incoming change. And forget the existing ones. Go back and fix this. Yeah, because there's a lot of logic that was put in there by Gareth. Let's reintroduce this here in just a second. Simon asks a good question here. Should I merge origin dev or pull origin dev to get changes from dev into the working feature branch, and what's the difference? It's actually the same. When you pull, it brings the changes down to the local workstation, but it puts them in a branch appropriate for those, right? So when you look at the commands I executed here, right, I ran git pull, which brings down all the reference branches that are out there. So there was a change to origin dev, so it pulled in the dev branch that's out on GitHub, and it's sitting in a reference location on my workstation. I can merge it into dev by calling get pull over there when I'm in that branch. But get pull brings down all the changes from the origin, because that's the default remote. It makes them available. When you say get pull, it will automatically merge the current branch with whatever's coming in from the remote. When I execute get merge here, this is saying, okay, take what's in the origin dev branch and bring it and merge it into my current branch named Spike eval. So I'm trusting Git's going to take all the changes and make it work there. And in fact, the tool reported, let me hide your question here. The tool reported, whoop, I see 2 modifications to the list view. You need to fix this. I don't know what to do with this. So I'm merging from the dev branch where I pushed up and I accepted features, merging it down into the feature branch because I know I'm working on the same area that was just updated by that other pull request. So I'll apply my fix here and push it back out. Stelzy, you are correct. A pull is a fetch and merge in one command. Fetch the content from the remote repository, merge it into the local branch. When you don't specify a branch name like I did here, it'll pull all of those, it'll fetch all of the remote branches and keep them in their origin branches. It didn't actually put it into dev. So now I can take the origin dev and merge it into other branches appropriately. So that's what I'm doing here. And I went in Visual Studio Code now, and I've resolved that difference between the two. Rambling Geek is here. Hello. Hello. Rebase feature to dev, never dev to feature. Well, hang on. You're missing my context here. I'm going to back up a second. I squashed the feature branch and pushed it into dev for another pull request. Now I'm working in a feature branch that is, its version of dev is 2 or 3 steps further than what it was branched off of. In order to make sure that I'm ready and I have the latest dev branches before I push, I'm pulling in those branches and doing a preliminary merge. Then push it out. There was a question above. What other question above? So, I squash. I don't rebase when I merge branches. What do you mean nothing to do with what I said? I don't see another question. Okay. Very good. Moving on. So now this is reverted. I'm going to add this and commit to complete the merge. Yeah, go ahead, update Visual Studio Code. So source, yep. Right. And I don't care because this will be rebased and squashed away later. All right. So now I'll go back to Visual Studio. And I have those 2 components that have changed that I need to go back and add the cascading values into. And because it's Visual Studio is smart and saw the changes, it rebuilt and it's going to rerun all my tests here. Yeah. And where I was working in data list is still not working. Why didn't you run these ones down here? 132 ran properly. Come on. Show me this last one. And we've got about 15 minutes left together here. But oh boy. No. I think I really broke that list view, didn't I? Yeah, I am getting a really good group of tests out here on this. That error list looks ugly. Let me make sure I have the correct error list here. I'm going to go back to the source code, and I'm just going to copy in the current state of... I can do this out of Octotree. Source, components, list view. Make sure I have the correct version of this. Right? That I didn't inadvertently break something when I merged. Show me all the tests. Rerun. Yeah, Simon, I am breaking a lot of things here. But, right, it's paying off because I know when I'm breaking something before I make that mistake. And we found that infinite loop, too, right? Because of that do loop. So, come on. If we don't break things, how will we learn? Yes. You sound like Jack Nicholson's The Joker. Or is it Jim Carrey's The Riddler? Both of those. Okay, build succeeded, and... data list I expect to be broken still. There we go. One broken here, and that is on the DataBinder. Yeah, simple list view is not evaluating properly. Right. Because so this is the one test that I wrote to make sure that I got the DataBinder working. Right? And this is just doing eval and attempting to format with the... Where'd it go? Can somebody clip that? How the test disappeared after I clicked it? And it ticked down the counter. Can somebody clip that so we can open an issue? Who wants to watch a boring stream where everything just works? Break it, break it. Yeah, not an issue, my foot. So this is inside list view. Let me go back to list view, and I need to rewire where it's doing the cascading value component, right? Now, the irony is, it works over here in the repeater. So here, oh boy, right, on data binding invoke, right? Open region, add content. There, it's doing item template, alternating item template, item separator. So I have... Oh, there it goes. Now it appeared again. Yeah, but... Right? This wasn't even an option. See, so we've got the row counter here as well for the alternating. And this is where I did that little bit of trickery with the items list. To test and see where it is, because that row counter is up here. And it's not... I didn't even recompile, I double-clicked on it. I clicked on it and navigated here, and it disappeared. So it feels like a filter thing is set wrong, right? So, all right, if I do the thing in here, cascading value on that, right? So this is the DataBinder, right? This, I have a feeling, will work. because, right, I'm modifying the existing one here, or not. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. First test, line 19. Here. Ew. What did I broke this one good. So, okay. That tells me this wasn't able to execute. Let me go back to list view. So I put the cascading value around these, and the value is item. That tells me it could also be down. There was another place where it was calling an item template, right? And here. Right, if I put that, then this, and close that, and we'll format. Right, we'll get that format working. So now let me rerun this, in case it's this one down here. So here we go. No. So now that's not working at all. Great. Where did I lose it? Where did I lose it? Yuck. I swear it's in one of these ones up here. Oh, wait. That if wasn't turned on. Proper formatting of the file might reveal something. Maybe. We'll kick that in, but got it. So let's do a quick format there. Looks a little bit better. Still pretty hideous. So that'll have my list view working again. Thank you for the follow, Bad Idea Jeans. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate you joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Yeah, I think... yeah, we're right there. Oh, now I broke something again. List view. I broke the alternating template. Okay, so this is the row counter problem. See it right there? That row counter is not being... it's not alternating it. So we need to change this to items list. What was it? It wasn't index. It was right because they're index of. I can do that now. Index of item %2. So that's not using row counter anymore. Gotta run. Have a good one. It's Litany. Thanks so much for joining us. It's Litany is another member of the Live Coders team, just like Robert Tables, Rambling Geek, and a couple more folks. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Now, it's telling me I still have an error here, even though that ran properly. So I'm going to rerun all of them. Nope. Okay, it went to 0. Good. Just got Cascadia code working. Oh, congratulations. I hope you enjoy it, Jonathan. So that should take care of these. Thank you for the link, Rambling Geek. I'm going to run into the same issue right here. So this is looking at row counter %2, and row counter see, I think we're gonna have the same issue here with this one. I think we are. But it's a different row counter, right? This item enumerator is different. See, item enumerator, move next. I'd like that. If that can get a list. Ugh. Hang on. Items. Yeah. So if I make this. Alright, so it resets. I think I can do the same thing here. I think I can do that. Let me rerun and see if all my tests still run properly. They should. Let's see. Come on, tests. Help me out here. Keeping an eye on things. All the tests passed. All right. Love seeing that. That makes me feel good. Right?
Squirrel is so bad. He's good.
I'm not a squirrel today. So, okay. Right? The groupings still work, and that works. Okay, I'm feeling good about that fix. I need to put this back into data list as well, and I merged in those changes. So, right, I've got to do very similar thing over here, where I put that right here. It is the even, not even, right? Data binding right there, that thing. So indexed items. Right, because indexed items is right, so it's got the item here. Is indexed items a list, or is it? It is a list. I can do this. So I'm gonna go back over here and let me grab that cascading value that I want to pass through. Right? Put that there. Put the closing right there, right? Now, instead of saying even here, what I can say is indexed items dot index of, and even means that mod 2 is 0, right? Learning, there you go. So now that should continue to work, right? Let's run the tests. And our tests around the data list shouldn't break, and we should be able to drop in a data binder test with the data list to make sure that that works as well. And I would say that feature-wise, we're getting that data binder working in other places, and we could consider merging it up so that it's available across the project. Test run finished. 1 failed. All right, what failed? Where is it? There it is. Data list, table layout. Over here. Alternating template. Okay. So that tells me that all of these, that indexed item, index of the item, always came out as 0. So it always came out as 0, huh? And we never remove stuff from it. I mean, couldn't I look at IDX anyway? Right? Couldn't I do that? Right? IDX is managed outside of this. Could I go across that thing? Is that going to give it to me? Nope. Nope. So that is always returning the wrong value. See, this is weird, isn't it? We never take an item out of the index items. Right, and I need to kick off the cascading value as soon as possible after that item is defined. And, right, doing this as indexed items dot index of item, that should give me the position inside of it, but it doesn't. I'm wondering if we're running into a ref type versus a value type thing with C#. And wondering if we can cheat this a little bit, chat room. I'm wondering if we might be able to cheat it just a little bit. Yeah. 1 and 3. Bang. Okay. What if we could cheat this just a smidge? What if... Let me go to the data list. What if we did... Let's put a private class in here. No. In class component state, right? And let's put a property in here. Even, right? Let's do something like that. Okay. So what if we said this? If we said, yeah, I didn't think you were going to do that. No, I can do that. Current, component state, and we call this current component state equals new component state. Okay, so there's a thing sitting there, and maybe instead of doing this, right? See that up there? We say current component state even equals true. So then down here, can I say current component state dot even, and I can say what do you think? I think having the even property seems to be the better thing to do. Yes. And this I should make like a toggle method just to flip it. All right, here we go. There's some place that I didn't pick it up. Ooh, I wonder if that was it. Is the do while the issue because it sets the IDX property? No, the cascading value, it loses the reference to these private properties outside of this. Still didn't get it. I wonder. I had this, right? This was indexed items dot index of item, right? %2 equals 0. What if I take that? Was I missing it on the second half? I think I was missing it on the second half here. Yes, I was! In which case, I don't need this. Right? It never flips even here. So I don't need that, because I'm not checking it anywhere else. Thank you for the follow. Ryan Warner Codes, welcome in. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go back to here, and I can get rid of that because I don't need it. Right? Let me rerun all the tests, make sure I didn't break anything else. I can remove the index of because that'll be an extra loop each time. I need to do it inside of the thing. We could probably optimize it. So it does index of once. There we go. Everything ran properly. Let me see if I can do that quick little optimization in here. Right? So now here, look, I'm doing var even. But pull that out so it's defined once. And now, rerun. It's doing that so that it properly groups. This one does columns, is what this one's doing. It's putting them in their columns appropriately. Thank you for the follow, Amet. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's see, that should still work. Should. There we go. Fantastic. And it ran at 17 milliseconds. Nice and fast. So now I should be able to do a data binder inside of a repeater and inside of a data list. So let me just write those unit tests real quick to verify, and we will call this, a day. So I'm going to grab a simple, I'll grab just a flow layout. Thank you for the follow, Will921. welcome in. And this one is, this is a data list. So let's call this eval simple data list. And instead of, yes, what? Is that sitting, and then imports over here. I'll bring those two in. There we go. Which should fix that. I'm going to get rid of the context, and I'm going to change this from item name to eval. It's not helper components. I can actually just say DataBinder dot. Look at that. DataBinder is obsolete. And that should still work over here from the data list. And I need to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to grab the repeater and grab a simple repeater. Yeah. Right? Copy. And this is going to be eval simple repeater. Right, and get rid of the context. Thank you for the follow. Feeny1010, welcome in. Hello, hello. It's good to have all our new followers joining us today. Appreciate that very, very much. So now I'll run. And this should work. And we should get some 3 more unit tests. We should see that run up to 138. If we've done everything properly, this DataBinder block here should see a couple new ones here. Thank you for the follow, Leonardo. Welcome in. Appreciate you joining us. Oops, simple data list is not working here. What do we got? Eval output. It's telling me didn't get it. So, we're about 15 minutes over, so I want to wrap up, but I think I want to leave this. If I take a look here, line 17, it's telling me it didn't get an item, right? I should probably handle and throw a null reference exception there if there is no item. So let's say if the item equals null, throw new null reference exception. The item being bound was not received by the DataBinder. So that we get an appropriate message there that happened. I expect to see that blowed up again here for us, but with a better message that, oh, I didn't get an item. So now I'll be able to walk back and look at the data list and figure out, well, why am I not passing that cascading value down? The repeater worked, the list view worked, this one didn't. System null reference exception, there it is. Okay, so if I go back to the data list over here, current data bound item, value item, NX Gig, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Huh. I didn't do it in the flow layout. I only did it in the table layout. Ooh. You see that, chat room? Yeah. Right there. Right, and the same thing with this. Let me get rid of even. which should break in a couple different places. But I'm going to say indexed items. Heck, just copy it down from up here, right? Right, friends? Right. There. That's hideous. But it worked. I think. Did that just fix this? Let's see. I think we've got this. And we can push it back out. Let the continuous integration run on this. And I'm gonna feel really good that we have a data binder that's really close. Yes! Yes! Me, thank you. Thank you, me. You're so good, me. Yeah, look at the hype. So, one more time, run all the tests. It shouldn't have to rebuild because we've already built. We didn't change anything. So this should run real quick through all the tests. No, it's building. It's gonna build. Nailed it! Darn Skippy. Right? As Hans Gruber would say,
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
You're darn right I do, Hans. All right. Good. All the tests ran. I'm feeling really good about that. Let's commit some changes here. Added data binder capabilities to the data list and repeater with unit tests. Fantastic. I should rebase before I push that out. It's my own feature branch. Before I merge it, I'm going to end up squashing, rebasing, and pushing. So there we go. Fantastic. All right, friends. I think we're getting really close here. I want to put some documentation with this that explains a little bit. I want to investigate why those links aren't working properly on my Visual Studio here. I should be getting that interactive IntelliSense popping up, but I'm going to call it, because you really don't want to watch me write documentation. So I'm going to wrap it up right here. Let me just pop open GitHub again, go back over here, and we should see that spike branch where I'm doing the eval, where I'm doing the data binding here. We should see this start running a test here, right? Show me my commits. Commits, this one. There it is, we can see it. It's running the test right now over there in Azure DevOps, and hopefully we'll get everything passing. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. This video, like all my other videos, will be available over on the YouTube channel. I pushed out 8 videos this morning, 7 or 8 videos. I'm going to push out a whole bunch more, and I'm going to spend my afternoon here writing a little bit of documentation and working on the Blazor for Web Forms Developers book. Getting those things done, built, and accessible for folks who are working on projects that they want to migrate, they want to get into Blazor. There we go. Everything built successfully. This is really good. And folks at Microsoft are noticing. They're seeing this. They're getting excited. They're getting very interested in what we've been able to do here as a team. So please, join in. Send a pull request. Open an issue. Give me some feedback on what works for you. You can write some docs, but let me know what kinds of things you need to change, you need to upgrade from your Web Forms project that you want to see working in Blazor. You looking for a GitHub link? I'd be happy to share that for you. Here you go. There's a link. And you can see the entire history of how this project's been developed by looking in the YouTube channel. There's a playlist specific for the Blazor Web Forms components, and you can see the entire history of the project as it's been built from conception to now live on Twitch. Let me set up for our raid. We're going to have our raid call. There it is. If you're a subscriber, copy the first line that the bot sent out here. Copy that onto your clipboard. Get ready. If you're not, that's okay. Copy the second line. We're going to go raid. It's Sunday morning. We're going to raid our very good friend, Suze Hinton. She is the no-op cat. She's working on some JavaScript, a little bit of IoT. Let me take a peek in over there, see what's happening. And we want to support her. We want to come running into the chat room loud and proud. Let her know that you came from over here. She's doing her show and tell right now, showing off some of the cool things she's been working on with, it looks like her plants this week. Plants? Thank you so much, French, for joining us. I will see you on Tuesday right back here, and we're going to continue with Web Forms in Blazor. All right, I'll see you then. And say hi to Sue.